have it. So once you have the I have it, so be it. Do you understand? So consensus techniques. Do you understand? So you may use the Dehi method, or you use the nominal group techniques can help you to reach consensus agreement. So these are some of the ways and methods you can use to build consensus in negotiation. Do you understand? Multi-party negotiations. So let's look at ways you can use to manage conflicting interests. Let's look at ways you can use to manage what conflicting interests. So first and foremost, you need to acknowledge that there is conflict. First and foremost, you must acknowledge that there is what conflict. Your your inability to acknowledge the existence of conflict becomes your limitation to addressing that conflict. You cannot indulge in denial or self-denial of the problem, and then you must acknowledge it that you are having a challenge. Once you acknowledge the fact that you are having a challenge, it's already, in fact, it's 70%. The problem is what 70% solved. Once you are able to identify that you have a problem, you have a conflict, I assure you that 70% of that conflict is resolved by you recognizing the fact that you have an existence what conflict of interest or conflicting interest. So, but ignoring and denying it is a problem. So, identify common ground. We have talked about that. Identify common ground. Parties may have common areas of interest. Focus on that to maximize the result. Do you understand? Facilitate dialogue. Facilitate, encourage open discussions about the conflict. Let everybody be free to communicate. What's the bone of contention? Let's discuss it. Discuss it. Don't be afraid. Say your mind. Say your opinions. Just say it. Be open. Nobody's going to hold you accountable based on what you have said. Say your mind the way you feel it. All right. Say it the way it is appearing in your heart. Say it. Explore trade-off. Explore what trade-offs. In economics, we have what we call the scale of preference. In economics, we have what we call the scale of what preference. So you give up and you take. Do you understand? So we call it in conflict, we call it compromise. Mm. You compromise, you adjust position. Do you understand? Yes. We talk about in economics, we use words like the foregone alternatives. Do you understand? Foregone alternatives, you give up something to take something that is more important to you. You give up the other one that is less important. Prioritize your alternatives. Do you understand? And so you take the one that is more important. So taking such into consideration will help you to manage conflict. So people can ask, give give up what is not more important to them and get that which is more important to them. We tell you, I told you about the onion tools, right? I said the onion tool is in layers because people come into negotiation table with these layers in mind. What they say they really want, what they say is their interest, and what is their need. So prioritize the needs and forget about they say they really want or what they say is their interest. Do you understand? Those ones can be compromised. Those ones can be adjusted, but the need cannot be adjusted. So that's why you must prioritize. That's why you must do some certain trade-off. Okay, let me give this one away. Let me drop this one. Let me get this. Do you understand? And then it helps you to solve problems all together. That's good. So set clear criteria for decisions. Set what? Clear criteria for decisions. Agree on objective criteria for evaluating options. This reduces what? Bias and helps parties to assess solutions based on mutual interest. Develop alternatives. Develop what alternatives. Don't just go into managing conflict or resolving conflict with one solution. Once you are stuck, you become stagnated. But when you have options, you can be able to navigate. Do you understand? Can be able to navigate and move forward. Maintain flexibility. Maintain what? Flexibility. Be adaptable, be changeable. One thing that is constant in life is change. Your inability to change means that you can be broken. I'm telling you that if you carry a stick that is fresh and you want to bend it, it will bend easily. But you carry a dry stick, you want to bend it, what happens? It breaks. Do you understand? It breaks. So your inability to your rigid attitude, rigid behavior means that your backbone will be broken. Do you understand? You so be flexible, adjust position as much as possible, so far as your need is not being compromised. Do you understand? Because when it gets to the point of your need, everyone knows. Yesterday we say you should draw baselines, right? Baselines, areas that you cannot go below or you cannot go above. Regular checks in, schedule follow-up meetings to assess interests and agreements. Regular communications help maintain alignment and address emerging conflicts. In case there's something that is of concern after the process, that's post negotiation, you should be able to address them. Educate and inform. Educate and what? Inform. Provide relevant information and context to help parties understand differing perspectives. Knowledge can reduce misunderstandings and foster empathy. Knowledge is only when you know that you can empathize. It's only when you know that you can take a steps. It's only when you know that you can help. You can help. It's not so. It's only when you know that you can do. So knowledge is key. So where people lack the knowledge, where people don't have sufficient information, and you have, go ahead and educate and inform so that they will know. You understand? It's very, very important. Then focus on the future, forget the past, and possibly don't focus on the present. Look at the future. What does the future hold? What is the state of your relationship after today? If me and you were interacting here today now, if you see me in Lagos, how will you feel? Will you feel like offering me a cup of water, or you will use catapult and pursue me from Lagos? If you see me in Kenya, how will you feel? Will you feel like giving me a bottle of wine and taking me to safari park for me to go and look at those beautiful environments, or you will call immigration and police for me? Do you understand? So based on our interaction here. So, but if we focus on the future, that where am I going to meet with you tomorrow? I don't know when our path will cross again. So I am going to maximize today, but my focus is on tomorrow. Where are we going to be? Do you understand? So it's very important. So encourage parties to look forward rather than dwell on the past grievances. A forward looking approach can facilitate a more constructive dialogue. I'm not just dealing with you based on what is before me now, but I'm looking at us tomorrow. I'm looking at us what tomorrow. And tomorrow is bigger than us. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. It may be someone you're looking down on today that may be your bridge to cross tomorrow. It may be just people that are here that as if we are playing that will come and say, your every outreach to go and attend to the people in need. Don't worry, I will cover that budget. Do you understand? I am going to handle the budget single handedly. You may not know them. You may not know that this person wrote that, but he is capable of doing it. Someone was asking me today because our convention is coming up in November. Someone was asking me, are there areas that they of sponsorship? Do you understand that he is willing to, apart from the fact that he's contributed his own convention fee, he now asks, are there areas of sponsorship? He's waiting for the details. Do you understand? He's waiting for the details so that he can, sponsor some aspect of the convention. This is the people we are dealing with. Do you understand? So you don't know. So you when you are interacting with people, be careful and don't just focus on what is on the table. Look at the future. What is the future? Do you understand? That's what it means. So it's very, very important. Sometimes we are bent on the present and make so much reference to the past and forget about the future. Some of us we even ask questions like, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know whether tomorrow I will be alive. Since you are a crusader, a gospel, since you are a death crusader, that is you, ambassador of death. It's as if death has given you later that tomorrow I'm visiting you, or today, like this, as we finish this meeting, you are not going to survive. How can you be in a meeting and then you are saying that I don't know whether tomorrow I will be alive? How can you say such? Do you understand? Yeah, but there are people that talk like that. Give me what is here now, what I'm looking at. I don't know what is tomorrow. Oh, no, no, no. Don't talk like that. Because tomorrow it says it's very, very pregnant. Do you understand? Very pregnant. Loaded with a lot of things. So manage conflict using these factors, these you know strategies to help you to manage conflicting interests. All right. Let's go forward. Our last topic for today, we are going to look at mediating complex negotiations because I have another meeting by 8:30. So let me try and see how I can finish it for the meeting by 8:30. So mediating complex negotiations. How do you mediate complex negotiation? Mediating complex negotiation requires a nuanced approach to facilitate communications. And what are those key steps in mediation? What are those key steps in mediation? First and foremost is preparation. You have to prepare. And what areas are you preparing? Understand the context. Understand what the context. Familiarize yourself with the background of the negotiation, including the interests, goals, and relationship of the parties. Understand all of this. Very important. Set ground rules. All right. Set ground rules. Set those ground rules so that once you go into the negotiation, you will be able to read those ground rules. Do you understand? You read those ground rules for for people for guidance as a guideline for people to follow to participate in the negotiation process. So these are the areas you're going to prepare. First, familiarize yourself with the problem, with the issue, with what you are going into negotiation with for. And then apart from that, set ground rules that will guide discussion and conversation. That's number one steps that you need to take. Number two is opening session. Opening session for negotiation. What are you going to do clarify roles, right? Introduce yourself, explain your role as a mediator, and outline the mediation process, including those ground rules that you have set. Do you understand? You explain them so that people will know that this is what it is. Encourage what introduction. Allow parties to introduce themselves and share their perspective briefly, fostering a sense of what inclusion. So, opening session, that's what you're going to do there. And then we are looking at gathering information. Gathering information. Here, what do? You facilitate dialogue, giving people opportunity to aid their views and their concerns. All right, everyone communicate what is in their mind, and nobody interrupts. You allow people to die before you bury them in that process. You understand? So you don't interrupt anybody. And then you, the mediator, you do what? You pay attention, listen actively, identify interest. In the course of attentive listening, you identify the interest as the parties share their opinions and their views and their concerns. You pick interest, pick key areas of concern. Do you understand? You pick key areas of concerns and you help them to you help to identify what is their position and their interest. Do you understand? And that helps you to solve the problem. So exploring issues, break down complex issues. Like we say, break and conquer. Do you understand? Break down complex issues. Divide the negotiation into smaller, more manageable components to facilitate discussion. Encourage collaboration. It's very important. Encourage what collaboration and let them able to address that together. Addressing conflict, where conflict arises in terms of maybe their emotions are high and and there's tense situations, and then there are changes in tunes and all of that. You'll be able to deal with those things because as a mediator you must be expert in understanding people's emotions. First and foremost, you are aware of your own emotions, and then you try to also understand and manage the emotions of others. Do you understand? Important. Managing disagreement also is one way you can address the conflicts that may arise. Then generating options, all right? Facilitate brainstorming so that people can bring out ideas, bring out suggestions, bring out their opinions. Do you understand? All right, so that we can contribute effectively. Even the meeting we are going to have something to do with this brainstorming, because the meeting would have been maybe with two people, but I said no, let's do it. Let the other committee members, let's hear from them what they have to say so that they give us an idea of how we are going to address the issue. You understand? So it's brainstorming is very, very important. Then evaluate options. Help parties assess the feasibility and acceptability of proposed solutions, guiding them towards collaborative agreement. Yes, you make emphasis and make them see reasons based on their conversation, based on their interest. Help them to see reasons why it should flow the way you are looking at. Do you understand? But still, they have the final say. If they say no, you don't have anything to do, you know, in that. So, building consensus, encourage compromise, clarify agreements, encourage what consensus, compromise, allow people to shed off certain things, and then for the purpose of reaching agreement. And then we'll talk about closing the mediation. Closing the mediation, all right? Closing what the mediation, formalize agreement and plan for follow up. Plan for what a follow up. All of this you define them. So document, you have to document the agreement, which outlining the responsibilities and timelines for implementation. Document the agreement reached, outline the responsibilities and timelines for implementation. Very, very important. Do you understand? So Strategies for effective mediation. What are those strategies for effective mediation? It's, these are the things that you are aware of. Remain as neutral as possible. Don't show any interest. Don't take sides. Don't 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 demonstrate an iota of interest in anybody. You understand? Be as neutral as anything. Build rapport with the parties involved. Use active listening skills to be able to, contribute effectively to help them resolve their problem. Adult and encourage the parties to adult where possible. Encourage patience. Encourage what patience, the virtue of patience is also important. Remind parties that complex negotiation often take time, encouraging them to stay committed to the process. So, how to encourage them so that they will not come and be rushing and then take a hasty decision that will lead to failure. Uh, Utilize breaks where possible, where there are challenges, where tensions are high. You can call for a break time. People can go on break and calm down and come back for further discussions. Do you understand? So where you notice that there are high tensions, say, gentlemen, I think we need to go on break so that you go and refresh. So by the time they go and eat and take sweet drinks and come back, and their brains must have calmed down, must have been chilled to a sensible discussion. You understand? And then seek external expertise in case there are issues that you cannot address by yourselves, or you can seek for external helps. You understand? And because sometimes the subject matter may not be in your area of understanding, so you have to seek for others' contributions. And so by so doing, you'll be able to, you know, uh, deal with the issues. So these are the ways you can effectively mediate, and then also the key steps to address mediations. We say you first and foremost you prepare open session, gathering information, exploring issues, addressing conflicts, and then generating options as well as building consensus, closing the mediation are some of the aspects that you're going to follow. So we talk about the strategies for effective mediation. Remain neutral, build rapport, use active listening, adopt flexibility or adopt flexibly, encourage patience, utilize breaks, and seek external expertise where necessary. Thank you very much. This is the much we can take for today. I hope that you learned something. I hope you got something in today's conversation. I hope you got something, and I hope that it's going to benefit you. So I appreciate you, appreciate your time, appreciate your contributions. Uh, so, like I said, for those of you that wrote exams on emotional intelligence, the work is almost done. So we are hoping that by tomorrow, hopefully, you start receiving the links for. I will check the work today. After this meeting, I will check to know whether they have work on the issue, so that by tomorrow you will get the link to start uh, printing your work, printing your certificate. Please, so bear with us on that. But I hope that tomorrow or next tomorrow, everything will be ready. So thank you very much. And of course, once we are done with the alternative dispute resolution, this one will not waste time. You just go straight and then get your certificate. You understand? So thank you very much. I appreciate your contributions. I appreciate your dedication. I appreciate your contributions and all of that. So have a wonderful night rest. I don't think I have any question here that needs to be answered. But let me just run through the comment sections to see if there's anything that needs to address, or if there's none, can equally call it a day. Are there any questions? Let me go to the last comment to see if there's any question. All right, there are no questions, so have a great night rest. We'll see tomorrow same time by 7 p.m. for us to have more discussion on this topic. And then again, I say I will send you the manual, but I have not sent it yet. So I will send it this evening because I think it's in a good position now to send it out. So I'll send it this evening so that you can have it. Thank you and God bless you. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Somebody is asking, let me see your comment. Please, do we have a degree classes? We have our academic programs, but they are on hold now because of the university we are affiliated with, and we are looking at how we can. We are talking with other universities to see how we can move our students from that university to the university we are affiliated with. So, and there are some people even in Uganda here that I also reached out to say that we get the university there to affiliate with. But as soon as possible, for those of you that are in a university, working in a university, if you think you can help us to affiliate with the university, if you help us. But we have academic program that was ongoing, but we have to suspend it so that we'll make sure that things are done rightly. We don't want to federal government come with their own issues, so we need to go comply with what the government of Nigeria is saying, since we are operating in Nigeria here. Do you understand? So that will not be going against what government says. It's they are the ones that regret their activities. So we have to key into whatever government is saying so that will not go off. So we are still, but we are still working it out with some university in Nigeria here. If we are able to achieve that goal elsewhere, that government doesn't have problem with, so be it. And then we'll resume our activities. But just keep your mind, keep your just put your fingers crossed. Something will come up before this year ends. So if you are interested in a degree program, but particularly maybe masters and PGDs, I think that's what we'll be looking at, and possibly PhD programs. So thank you very much. See you by tomorrow, 7 p.m. Thank you. Have a wonderful night rest.